Hello everyone, welcome back to Ajinkya Technospace. Myself Sonali Korane again, and I'm back with a new, with a new series of interviews. Uh, and Here we are having with us Mr. Swapnil Gwalharkar, who is a senior iOS developer in a IT company in Pune, and we will be having a 30 minutes one-to-one session with him to discuss about whatever is going on in today's scenario in field like iOS development and all. So I will be asking some questions to him, and he will be answering those questions so that you people might get insight about iOS development in industry field. Okay, so let's start. Hello, Swapnil. Hello, Swapnil. And My first question to you is, can you introduce yourself and provide a brief overview of your journey on iOS development?
Yeah, hi Sonali. My name is Swapnil Valrekar, and I am an iOS developer. I started my journey as a iOS mobile developer in 2017, January 2017. But my enthusiasm and interest into mobile ecosystem was from very long. I'd been using mobile phones and cell phones with a very much of craze from year 2010. I used to be a fan of Windows Phone and all, and every like iPhone, Windows, Android. So that was something that had a major role in picking a field like this.
So could you tell me what was your field in B? Like what was your stream in B?
Yes. So my educational background was like I have done engineering in electronics and communication, and basically I am from born and brought up from Indore. So my college and school education was from Indore, Madhya Pradesh, and I have also worked for 5 years in Indore as an iOS developer, from a position of junior iOS developer to someone at a mid-level software development engineer two. That was my last designation in my earlier company, Swistango Technologies, where I had worked for 3 years.
Okay.
So that was my last experience. Currently working with Extensia Information Technology, which is a Pune-based company. The company has got acquired with Dentsu Global, which is a big brand from Japan, and yeah, it's a sort of a big thing.
Okay. So what motivated you to become an iOS developer?
Yeah, I would say the same thing, that I had a very keen interest in uh, using the tech devices and gadgets. It was something in my house only. My family, uh, or even my father, was someone who was very adaptable to the technology, and my family, though were not that aware about things, but we used to have things at our home available, either be it the internet, be it access to a lot of things, which step by step made me decide that I can do this. Eventually, it was not exactly the iOS development. I earlier started with Android first, where I did the training. I had specifically chosen programs to go for an internship, but it didn't work out that well. So the chance that I got was into iOS development, so I picked that, and from there mostly I've not picked anything other, but yeah, I've learned other things, because at the same time we had been working with Android developers, with React Native developers, so I've been working on other technologies as well, since I've been into the industry for 6 years now. So I've got the chance to work on multiple technologies, and go for the solutions advise the solutions or get the solutions from Android developers as well.
Okay. So, as you told that your educational background, that you have done BTech, your engineering from electronics background, right? So, I wanted to know, like, how did it contribute to your career in iOS development?
Yeah. So basically, initially I was drawn to something like going into a science field. Electronics and communication was something being a very amateur person in class 11, I decided that I should be going for some kind of stream which would be related to science, or like semiconductors were very inspiring for me. At that time, something was catchy for me, but it didn't work out. I learned MATLAB, which is a tool, basically software simulation for creating circuits, maybe basic programming, which is, it is a matrix world, so everything is a matrix in it. So we did some kind of programming stuff, creating uh, some uh, some games, working on tic-tac-toe program, working on basics of how we
Obviously,
can implement a chess.
okay, obviously, there also you were doing programming only, coding only, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No issues. So, my next question is, could you share some highlights of your professional experience as an iOS developer? Like what projects you are particularly proud of and why?
Yeah. So that is a very interesting question for me. Even I review back my career all the time, and from start of the journey, I worked on something like fitness app. First app was my first working on a app like Feet Apart, which was a good, very good chance. I had worked on different kind of clients, that but this was an Indian client and a Bangalore-based startup. It was a very wonderful and enthusiastic team. I had worked with my team lead named Nikhil Saraf, who was very much a person who had drawn the interest in my interest into development of iOS application, very basic things into Apple ecosystem, which was very much unaware for a person like me, who was from a very middle class family, having no access to Apple products and all. But that was something that started. I worked with Sistango, where I worked in projects like working on creating frameworks for iOS frameworks for camera applications, doing R&D work for and creating interesting solutions for them. And according to their business requirement, that we used that created that framework, and used that framework also for their own product, which we created a feature like panorama into it, and use the iOS AV foundation kits and all. So
Obviously, it
that was
sounds good.
something very interesting.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very interesting.
And now working with TVS Motors, which is very
Mm.
challenging and interesting to work, because we work on core Bluetooth. So we are able to implement a lot of interesting things, like getting telemetric data from the scooter TVS scooters, which are two-wheeler scooters from TVS, and that is developing. Those things are somewhat at the developing stage, and some things are also already live. So we are working on it.
Okay, that's great. So, you already told, like, what technologies, framework do you work with, in iOS development? Any favorite tools or libraries that you find essential in your work?
Essential favorite tools. Maybe the thing about iOS development, I like this single standalone tool, which has been always there for us, is Xcode. It has got other other tools like for the testing and performance testing. Apple ecosystem has provided standalone separate tools integrated into Xcode or otherwise. So they are always helpful and enough and sufficient for everything that we have to development native wise. But at the same time, Apple or Mac OS is so developer friendly that we get to utilize other tools like if we have to work on React Native, so we can go for it and integrate the things, develop the things from their side and use the simulators of from the Xcode or something like that. So basically, everything that I have chosen to work is something uh, to be very simplistic, because in iOS ecosystem we always follow a convention of simplicity first, and development of not engaging the user or making the user's time, taking the user's time, but making it simple for the user, life simple for the user.
So, my next question is, can you share a challenging problem you encountered in your career? How you approached solving it?
Mm, yeah, at every stage of my career, there has been maybe the December month has been very harsh on every developer probably, because there are phases where you don't get the enough work at times, or maybe you don't get to understand or pick the right path for you. So challenging part is to continue with the same technology or things that you have been working and creating something new at the same time, following the market trends, that if there is a requirement for a new technology, and if there is urgency, and if you are someone who has the uh, total knowledge of that project, and you are only responsible to work, then you will be getting the chance to work on other technology and implement it. So something like that is very difficult to work on. At the same time, transferring the knowledge to a other person, communicating those things is the most difficult thing, because instead of communicating, at times you feel like you can do it, but there is always a need of having being generous and involving as many people as there are available, and making the product successful.
Okay. So, my next question is, how do you stay updated with latest trends and advancements in iOS development?
Mhm. At times, I follow the Swift related docs that Apple has provided. I follow. I've been in some communities like Swift Anytime is one of them, where I've gone to. Uh, Sometimes I go to their workshops and seminars and all. So that is something that is keeps me updated with new people and technology as well. It is very difficult for me to always come up with and catch up with the latest technologies, because I've been a person who is involved with my own project most of the time. But definitely, whenever I get the free time, I try to get involved with something like this, and I'm looking uh, uh, for some kind of association, like people whom with whom I can take my interest level ahead and do something interesting.
Obviously,
I've
in
always been.
today's world, collaboration is the most important thing. If you can work in team, you can work on many ideas together and make it a success, right? So that is obviously a good thing. So my next question is, what advice would you give to someone starting their journey as an iOS developer, and any specific resources or learning paths you recommend?
Mm, uh, Learning path would be to go up and brush up very basic skills. Maybe you can start with Java, although Java is not very much related to at all, not related to Swift programming. Basically, iOS development happens mostly with Swift development, or maybe you need to be acquainted with the Mac OS stuff with something like maybe React Native is something you can go for, which is a good thing if you are going for a cross-platform development, because in today's world things have become very much interlinked. So something like cross-platform React Native is something, React Native, Flutter, these kind of things have made development so easy. Like having on a one platform, we can develop things for multiple platforms, like for web, mobile, and mobile. In mobile too, we can develop for Android and iOS simultaneously. Or maybe we can manage to have a universal machine system, so that can help. Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is how has your role evolved over the years? What steps did you take to progress in your career? Any tips for achieving continuous growth in iOS development?
For continuous growth, maybe whether it is in iOS development or whether it is any other technology, whether it's PHP or any other, whether it is Salesforce, we also need to be in touch with the current technology, current updates, because whenever you are going to deploy your product, you are always going to face a problem, because the user is going to be always available at the latest version of iOS or latest version of things, and you need to be catchy enough to understand what kind of issues your product can face with different user bases, whether it is who has not updated his phone, or uh, whether he's been updated with the conventions, the things that you are trying to you need to be user, you need to develop things user friendly and as much easier as you can. You can always make the app engaging enough so that user is able to utilize and have a utility of the app. So you need to keep those points clear, and uh, as a fresher, this is something that grows up with steps. So you need to just be keen and interested in the technology, like having knowing about the product. Apple iPhone product is also something like very first step to understanding that when you are going to implement an app into it, deploy an app into for it. Yeah.
So, like this was about like career growth and all. So, one more question I wanted to ask you is that is work-life balance. Like, how do you balance your work and personal life? Like, how do you manage your time effectively? I've already always heard that the developers are always busy with something, some or other deployments. So, any tips for the upcoming freshers who are planning to become a developer?
It's about habits. Basically, if you are drawn to something, if you're drawn uh, to your work, you'll always find time to complete your work and manage the time work wise. At the same time, personal life and things also needs to manage pre-planned well enough. That is something that I've struggled a lot. Work-life balance is something that you have to be very clear and precise about. It's not something that somebody else can advise you, because every individual has different kinds of stories and different kinds of approaches to deal with problems and solve the problems. So basically, whenever you are working, you need to have a proper strict scheduled time, as well as you need to even plan the things that you are going to do, the new things that you are going to do. So basically, there is a WDC, you need to have that clarity that if you are going to follow this WWDC event, you need to make time from your work outside and 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 watch that event. Or maybe whatever you are going to do, it needs to be something relevant and helping with your career, as well as not disturb your other stuff. Yeah.
Okay, now I also wanted to ask, how important do you think it is to be a part of iOS development community? Any networking or community involvement tips for developers apart from LinkedIn and all?
I think there are a lot of meetups happening all the time. Like cities like two tier cities like Indore has all, from the start of my career, I had been getting to know about meetups like Google Developers Group, first one where I had a meetup. I could not continue and make a follow up and join for the meetups, but I regularly get still even now. Just when I had entered into that group, I'm still getting the emails from those groups, and there is always a lot to learn when you meet a person coming out so all the way from Bangalore or somewhere else, coming to give a session on something. So something like that can help. Maybe communitize with your locals, communitize with your own circle, college friends, your colleagues, whoever you get to know, and maybe understand what they have a solution for. Like I've had a friend who is a Node.js developer in Systangle. So we had a talk once that we'll be doing something. So we basically had a plan. We implemented some things at that time. Definitely, it didn't happen when workout because it was at that time I could not manage the work life balance, and things didn't happen in a way to showcase our work whatever we did on the on that side. But I have always made steps to do something with maybe with my juniors or with my seniors all the time. I try to find people. Uh, we try to work on things, and maybe just for making a prototype for a company or something. But we try to mm, may like work on the things and go for the ideas and solutions. Yeah.
Okay. So, my last question is, what do you foresee as the upcoming trends or advancements in the field of iOS development? Any specific skills you think that will be crucial for future iOS development?
Basically, crucial things are very not very normally accessible, and very less people know about machine learning. Very we are not skilled enough to uh, which is not that much of a difficulty, but definitely we are not opting to learn something like machine learning, which is available like create ml core ml has been there in iOS all from past 2 3 years, and they are very basic kits, but it, we are very sure that if something like that is there in the back of mind of Apple company, they will definitely bring something in the near future with with good advancements. There is already a lot of things happening in that stuff. ARKit is something that is continuously upgrading. We are having a lot of interesting things implemented into it. Hardware side also, we have lidar technologies into mobile phones. We have different kinds of stuff, frameworks and kits to utilize and basically utilize and implement into our application, so that user can have a very interesting applications. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Sapnil. It was nice to talk with you. Obviously, you thrown so many light on, like, you gave so many insights in the field of iOS development. Obviously, we'll be conducting some more sessions on like these kind of sessions, so that our viewers might get some knowledge from people who are working in the industry. So we'll meet next with upcoming sessions. So thanks for today's session, and you gave some valuable insights, and that would I hope that will be helpful for our viewers and everyone who will be watching this video. Thank you, and thank you everyone
Thank,
for watching our video. And please like, share, and subscribe for these kind of valuable content. Thank you.
thank you.